thinking about the Mets series because the Rockies had lost 11 straight against New York. They were able to turn the tables there.
And what they do, they went out and swept them. So you look at this series, you're coming off that loss last night, losing 2 out of 3 to St. Louis. You have a chance tonight to knock off Garrett Cole and the Pirates.
Well, despite the loss last night, it was another great day at the ballpark for Trevor Story. What an incredible rookie season. And a lot of people thought, well, he'd tail off. Maybe the home runs are down a smidgen, but he's hitting for a higher batting average in May. Last night, a home run, a double, a single. He just is, he's a freight train.
Well, and everybody thinks, well, all these numbers are being built up at home, but that's not the case for Trevor. 17 games at home, hitting 282, higher out on the road in 22 games. Oh, the home runs, same thing, RBI, slugging percentage. So it's not just a Coors Field product. And for Trevor, it's just been so steady, Eddie. Even after that first week that he had, last night he comes out, 13th multi-hit game, has a single to start the ball game, and then a double, and then I like the final one. He put the icing on the cake for him personally with his home run last night. So for Trevor, after Nolan Arenado, the next guy you and I always get asked about by visiting broadcasters or media or whoever it is. Tell us about this Trevor Story kid. Is he for real, folks? He's for real.
Not only is for real, but he's like this. Every day it's the same. He's never too high, he's never too low. He has an abundance of confidence, but as Walt says, everything he does is with humility, and he has been an absolute blast to watch. So Trevor Story and the Rockies getting ready to take on the Pittsburgh Pirates tonight, the first of 3. Again, the Rockies trying to snap that 7-game losing streak against Pittsburgh. They're finding their way here across Roberto Clemente Bridge. Rockies and Pirates, come on back to the Three Rivers City with us. Beautiful Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Western PA. The only visit this year for the Rockies to PNC Park, sitting right on the Allegheny River. And the Pirates have enjoyed great success the last 3 seasons, playoff seasons all for Clint Hurdle's Pirates. The Rockies were going to play a 4-game set against Pittsburgh at Coors Field a couple weeks back. They ended up getting 3, and 1 was washed away. They'll make that up on June the 9th, but the Pirates won all 3 of those games. And one of the guys that defeated the Rockies was this man, Big Garrett Cole, who's one of the hardest throwers in the National League, and he is striding his way to the PNC mound. So Garrett Cole at 4-3 will have the baseball. Charlie Blackmon naturally will lead it off for the Rockies. He's at 291. And Charlie will have Trevor Story hitting behind him once again in the Southwest batting order. Walt Weiss will then feature Nolan Arenado, Carlos Gonzalez, Mark Reynolds. Mark has always swung the bat well here in Pittsburgh. Gerardo Parra will bat 6, DJ LeMahieu, Dustin Garneau, and then Eddie Butler. Oh, Garrett Cole, you know it's going to be hard, and everything he throws pretty much is hard. Slider, I mean, he doesn't throw many off-speed pitches, does he?
No, and he's coming off probably arguably one of his best starts of his career against the Cubs. 8 innings pitched, 0 runs, 3 hits, 7 Ks. In his last 2 outings, 2-0 with a 129. So he's just starting to hit his stride. I know that's not good to hear, but for Garrett Cole, as you mentioned, Drew, it's fastball, slider, curveball, changeup, hard fastball, hard slider. And if you remember back to that game he threw against the Rockies, whenever he got in trouble, what did he do? He came with the express. There was no messing around. It was, here's my fastball, hit it if you can.
Yeah, he's kind of old time in that way. When he gets some traffic, you're going to see 96, 97.
He has that 5th gear that some pitchers don't have, where he can reach back for a little bit more.
That fastball zipped in there at 93. It's inside, a ball and a strike on Charlie. So the Rockies won the opener in St. Louis 3-1, and then lost 2-0 and 13-7. That's in there, 1-2. In road series openers this year, they are 6-1, so they generally get off to a very good start. Hopefully that's the same tonight. Checked his swing, it's inside 2-2. That was at 96.
And it was not a strike on the Subaru strike zone.
You see he moves that fastball around. Really pleasant night in Pittsburgh, 71 degrees. Beautiful night to play ball. Look at the improvement, Huey, from this season compared to the last 3 years.
And last year they ended up 11-15 in road series openers.
And there's a base hit leading off the ball game for Charlie Blackmon. So a good start for Chuck Nasty. His speed's aboard, 3 out of 4 in stolen bases. Here's the Pirates defensively. They shift a fair amount. One of the adjustments they also made with their outfield is they're playing them more shallow. They have a great outfield. Marte's a Gold Glover. McCutcheon's won a Gold Glove. Gregory Polanco. Freese, Mercer, Harrison, Jaso in the infield. And the newly minted Francisco Cervelli. He got the big 3-year deal earlier this week. Guy that was a backup for years with the Yankees. Making the big bucks now, or at least beginning next year. Here's Story. Story did not face Garrett Cole in Denver. It's the one off day he's been given by Walt Weiss. He'd been scuffling just a little bit. Walt said, you know what? Gets a hard throwing and gifted right-hander. I'm going to give him a day off. So he did not face Cole.
Christian Adames picked up the start in that game. And that was the 26th of April.
And this is in the air to center field. Fairly deep but playable for McCutcheon, 1 out. And that'll bring up Nolan Arenado. Nolan had another one of those Huey multi-walk games last night. He's like collected them. He has 18 walks now this year versus just 16 strikeouts. I mean, he's 2 months ahead of his pace for walks from a year ago.
It's all about respect. And not that Nolan didn't have it last year, but after the numbers that he put up, 42 home runs, all the RBIs. People say, well, I'm not going to let Nolan beat me. I'll pitch around him.
And Nolan's 2 for 5 with a home run against Garrett Cole.
And that home run was the last time these two matched up back in Denver.
On the outside corner at 95, 0-1.
And for a big hard thrower like Garrett Cole, he is quick to the plate. Doesn't have to get everything behind it with the high leg kick, a 1.6 from glove to glove. It's going to be tough for Charlie if he wants to try to steal a base.
Center field, and that'll drop in front of McCutchen. Great read by Blackman, and he goes first to third. Tremendous read by Blackman.
It was because Andrew McCutchen, as he came in, acted like he was going to catch the ball. Jammed off the label of the bat, but watch Andrew McCutchen, and he's coming in. He holds up his glove like he's gonna get there, but Charlie's not digged by it. He says, no, I can go from first to third. Excellent read from Charlie. And then the other good thing he did, just see how quickly he cut the bag at second base and how it was a straight line almost between second and third. It wasn't this big banana route.
Well, this is a big early at bat for Carlos Gonzalez. As you know, Cargo's been scuffling. Sunday, he had the home run and the double, and then in St. Louis on Tuesday, he hit a ball that ordinarily would have been out, but nobody could hit it out that night. And he hit another ball pretty hard, but he's just 2 for his last 28. Needs to get this run home, and he lines out, and it's going to turn into a double play. That's how it's been going for Cargo. And Garrett Cole walks off the mound without any damage. Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by your hometown Toyota stores. Toyota, let's go places. And by Southwest Airlines, transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. Well, the Rockies had a grand opportunity in the first inning. Cargo lines into a double play. And it'll be John Jaso leading off for the Pirates. Eddie Butler got his warm-up pitches concluded quickly, so he's ready to go. 3 on the right side, and Jaso takes strike 1 from Butler. Just the 4th start for Eddie. He's only faced the Pirates 1 time. That came earlier this year out of the bullpen. And he was really sound for 2 1/3. But Eddie was quick to point out in the lead up to this ball game, Jeff, that, hey, that was going through the lineup once. I hope to go through it 3 or 4 times, and that's a different deal.
I've got to figure out how to do that. That appearance you referenced was his only appearance out of the bullpen for Eddie. Classic fastball, slider, curveball change, but the key for Eddie this year has been getting ahead. So much different than it was last year. And he's retired 16 out of the 20 leadoff men he's faced in 2016.
And he's been very good early in ball games.
First 3 innings has been his strong suit.
Just a 1 ERA, and he gives up a base hit here to Jason. Well, the Pirates have won 4 out of 5. They just took a series from Atlanta, winning 3 of 4. Here's their Southwest batting order for Clint Hurdle tonight. Andrew McCutchen, they moved him up to the 2 spot this year, and Andrew's starting to come on. He had a 3-home-run ball game earlier this year against the Rockies on April 26th. Gregory Polanco's been red hot. Starling Marte's over 300. Then Cervelli, David Freese, Josh Harrison, Jordy Mercer. All of them boast very fine averages. 281 mark overall for the Pirates, leads the National League. The Rockies will shift with McCutchen, and he fouls that pitch back.
Just remember that 3-game set in Colorado and how many balls that this ball club fouled off. I mean, it seemed like every batter, there was at least 3 or 4 foul balls, 6 or 7 pitches thrown to a hitter. I think that's what I remember most about the Pirates in that series.
There's a strike. Well, McCutchen has the ability to do this. Second time in his career, he would hit 3 in a ball game. And none of them were in question really off the bat. Perhaps that one that skipped over the auxiliary scoreboard right. The other 2 were bombs.
Yeah, he worked from left center to right.
And this ball's in the air to deep right. Cargo back there, and he's going to try to deke Jaso. He did a pretty good job of it. Jaso will stop at third on the double by McCutchen. And the Pirates have the first 2 not only on base, they're both in scoring position.
Slider, middle, belt high to Andrew McCutchen. And Carlos Gonzalez, he goes back. You and I are watching the same thing, probably what John Jaso was watching. Because Jaso takes off, and then he stops thinking, wait, he's going to catch this? He starts to head back to first base, and Cargo plays it off that auxiliary scoreboard. And the difference there is it's not hard. It's almost like a chain link fence where you don't know how it's going to bounce off that. Sometimes it dies, sometimes it'll go right, sometimes it'll go left.
Polanco's last 11 home games hitting .364. So Butler with a couple guys threatening to score, nobody out. That was a significant hit for Andrew McCutchen. He moves ahead of Jack Wilson, Jumpin' Jack Flash. 613 hits at PNC Park, #1 all time. He's going to have a lot of records before he is done, Andrew McCutchen. Outside. Last 6 hits for Polanco have all been extra base hits. 4 doubles, a triple, and yesterday he hit an opposite field home run. That's not easy to do at PNC Park for a left-handed batter.
Well, 379 right to dead left field in that little alley out there, 410.
This will get a run home. 1-0 Pittsburgh on the RBI ground out. 23rd driven in for Polanco, the 24-year-old.
Just a smart piece of hitting from Polanco. You get Jaso in and also move up Andrew McCutchen to third base. And that brings up Marte, who has some pretty gaudy numbers against the Rockies.
To say the least, he's got pretty good numbers overall. At .844 is OPS, and the Rockies with 1 out here in the first will bring the infield in with Marte.
And that tells you what kind of night you think it's going to be against Garrett Cole. He can't fall behind too many runs with Cole on the hill.
Foul Fouled off, a ball and a strike on Starling Marte. He just returned yesterday to the lineup. He was on paternity leave for 3 days. His wife brought in baby girl to the world, Tiana, earlier in the week. And this is a diving stop by LeMahieu. And interesting, McCutchen, who's a really good base runner. Huey, put your
he just
spikes back on for a moment. I'm surprised he didn't break there.
He should have. Rockies caught a break on that one because, Andrew, if you see that guy moving to his left, you should take off right there. And he didn't. And then once he hesitated, he stopped. But he knows he made a mistake because he claps his hands saying, oh, I should have gone, but he didn't. And now for Eddie, he's got to breathe a sigh of relief thinking I can get out of this with only giving up 1 run.
Yep, got to bear down on Cervelli. And Cervelli takes a slider for a strike. It's 0-1. Swung on and missed, went after him at 94. Eddie's fastball average is about 92.5, but he's plenty capable of running it up above 95. In the past, this has been, it sounds silly to say this, Huey, but this has been a troublesome count in the past for Eddie. He's made strides here.
He would give up hits 0-2, big hits too. But now he can pitch to different spots to a batter. And I mean, he tried to elevate there, but now he can go back downstairs with the slider. He can sink the ball if he wants to. He has more confidence in his pitch location.
He goes fastball, and it's in the air to Cargo near the line, and he'll make the catch and hand the baseball to a fan. All in all, very good job by Eddie Butler. 2 in scoring position with nobody out. Only 1 would score. 1-0. Doesn't seem that way, does it?
Maybe that young fellow will get a new jersey out of it, though. You think his dad would buy him a Washington jersey if he's wearing a Mets jersey?
No, not gonna happen.
Maybe Max will send him one.
Mark Reynolds, Gerardo Parra, DJ LeMahieu against Cole in the second. Strike one on Mark. Reynolds yesterday had a scare. He had his glove taken off. One of those ones where he's stretching with a throw that's up the first base line.
Well, and with all the force with Stephen Piscotty, who's coming down the line, and I've seen guys break their wrist, tear ligaments in their wrist. I mean, you can see so many bad things happening there. But to Mark's credit, then that next inning comes out, gets a base hit, and is in the lineup today.
Said he's a little sore, but he's okay, and nothing wrong with that swing. And Mark continues that trend this year. If you pitch him away, he'll go away. He has more hits to right field than any other part of the diamond.
And that's how you make adjustments, even as long as Mark's been playing in the big leagues. I mean, it's hard to do for somebody that, you know, had a high strikeout total for 2 or 3 straight years, setting records, to now coming back and saying, I'll use that other part of the field. And 14 hits to right field. If you would have said that coming in here in the middle of May with Mark, you'd been, I don't think so. But to his credit, 14 there, 13 to center field.
He's hitting over 300 in his career at PNC, including 10 home runs here. And against the Pirates this season, he's 6 for 11. Gerardo Parra at the plate. And Parra hits it in the air to center. One gone, and that'll bring up LeMahieu. DJ got a rare off day yesterday. Daniel Descalso played second base, and he really swung it well against his former team. And nice gesture by the big crowd at Busch Stadium, gave him a standing ovation. Talking about Descalso, he went 2 for 4, drove in a couple runs yesterday, giving DJ a day off.
Well, 2 things. It gave DJ the day off, but it also didn't make Daniel sit too long since he came off the DL 3 or 4 days prior. And then when you sit that long and then maybe not get a start, it's hard to get back into that rhythm again. But Walt recognized he needed a play, and then what better place to do it than St. Louis?
Walt will get Descalso some time backing up first base with Mark Reynolds. It's good right-handers. You'll see Descalso in there. Left-handed bats really favor more of a left-handed lineup. DJ's going to be out there 97% of the time. Story's going to be out there 97% of the time. And Arenado's going to be out there 101% of the time.
I wondered what percentage you were going to give to him, because I was going to say at least 99.9% of the time.
It's over 100. Listen, even if he had played like 75 in a row, if Walt said, hey, I'm going to give you a day off, it'd be a virtual fist fight.
He's standing right next to Walt. Hey, do I get a play? Where do I go in?
Inside. 2-2. So Cole wanted that pitch, but it was inside. Home plate umpires Corey Blazer tonight. Doug Eddings at first. Jeff Nelson's the crew chief. He's at second. Ben May is at third. That is caught. Another line drive double play. Back-to-back innings.
Yeah, Cole's living right.
Evidently. 1-0 Pittsburgh.
Hill, just kind of in passing, I said to Eddie, have you ever been to PNC Park? Because I knew he hadn't pitched here before, and he said yes. In 2009, he was 18. He was on a traveling team, came up from Virginia, and he said it's the first time I met Mark Reynolds, who of course is his first baseman. Reynolds was 25 then. Butler's 25 now, because Butler was playing with Mark's brother in that tournament. They were somewhere outside of Pittsburgh, came up here August of 2009. By the way, you're talking about Reynolds raking. He went 6 for 15 that series and had a home run. So he's been here before once, guys, just as a spectator.
Yeah, a lot of these guys, Mark, because they've always been, not always, but generally speaking, they've been elite. They've been on elite travel teams, that sort of thing. And so they've played in big league parks. Hot shot at LeMahieu. He'll throw out David Freese. Talked about Chatwood and Arenado facing each other in the CIF championship at Dodger Stadium. The Dodger Stadium or is Big A?
It was Dodger Stadium.
Freese retired. That'll bring up the versatile Josh Harrison, who settled in this year at second base, with Neil Walker now playing for the Mets. And Harrison hits it pretty well to right field. Cargo, though, will retreat and make the catch. 2 outs. And that'll bring up Jordy Mercer.
Back to all those travel teams and all the different experiences the kids have with those today. Different states.
That's amazing. Just amazing how many opportunities there are. You play year round. Not to date ourselves, but you know, when we were growing up, football season you played football, basketball season you played basketball, and you picked up a glove again after that.
Well, and I know personally, growing up in Arizona, I didn't leave the state to play in a baseball tournament. I mean, it was there. High school, we just stayed there and played all the time.
That is line to Story. Yeah, I counted up once. I know it was the same for Cody. Kids have played in 15 different states.
Yeah.
Kids can't even drive. Third, 1-0. Dustin Garneau out of the 8th spot in the Rockies lineup will be first. Here's our Office Liquidators series storylines. Yes, the Rockies need to snap the streak. They've lost 7 straight against the Bucks. Garrett Cole's tough man to do it against, 12-3 in his career against the National League West, the former #1 pick overall in the 2011 draft. And the Rockies are winning games. We discussed this a couple of days ago, Huey, despite the fact that they haven't been hitting many home runs.
Just 34% of the runs scored that the Rockies have had this year have come via the home run. And that's down from last year.
Last year was above 40%. I think it's a good thing.
I do too.
They're going to hit home runs. We know that. Arenado's going to hit home runs. He leads baseball. Trevor Story's one behind him. Cargo hasn't gotten hot yet. You know he's going to hit a plethora of home runs. You know, Mark Reynolds is going to hit home runs.
But on that time that you're not hitting the home runs, you still have to be able to win. You still have to manufacture run, play some small ball at times if the game calls for that.
Yeah, and the Rockies have been able to do that. Garneau got a start in the St. Louis series, was 2 for 4 with an RBI. Fouls that off, 2-1. Tony Walters
banged up.
Banged up. That's
just
yeah.
Plain and simple, just banged up.
Yeah, he took a couple of foul tips, one off the mask in particular yesterday. Then he fouled the ball off his foot.
And then last night, foul tip off the top of the leg, and then for good measure on the foot. And those are the scary ones off the mask.
Jordy Mercer in short left field will make the catch, 1 out. That'll bring up Butler.
Well, we have a moment. Last night you were gone. You flew home to enjoy your son's graduation. So Jacob, congratulations for graduating from Arapahoe High School, and that's
thank you.
Your first one out of high school.
You've gotten 3 done, 2 through college.
There's a lot of folks that are going through that this week and last week and next week with graduations. It's a special time, but I just want to say congratulations to you and your family.
Well, congratulations to Jacob. We're thrilled and just looking forward to going away to school in the fall. Goes fast, doesn't it? Walt, in fact, on Sunday will not be with the club because his son Bo graduating from Regis High School on Sunday. There's Eddie. He laid down a pretty good bunt, and Cole's going to get him at first. Make the pitcher work there. Good idea from Eddie. Fans, if the Rockies score 7 or more runs tonight or any night, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day. Do it between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies taco special. Live Moss at Taco Bell. 2 gone. Charlie Blackmon, who began the ball game with a sharp single to right on a 2-2 pitch. Yeah, a little bit more on the home runs. The Rockies have hit a home run in only 3 of their last 12 ball games. 5 home runs total. But within those 12 games, we saw a 5-game winning streak. So there are other ways of hitting, of ending up in the win column without hitting it over the wall. And speaking of guys who are going to end up with a fair amount of home runs, the guy at the plate, Charlie's got a couple. He averages about 18 in a full season.
Not only the home runs, hasn't really gotten the stolen bases revved up like he had last year. That will come too.
I think with the home runs, Huey, tell me if you concur, some of that has to do with the weather this time of year.
Totally agree with that.
This ball's hit pretty well to left. This got a chance to drop, and it is fouled, not by much. Charlie all the way to second base will return.
Well, tonight it's going to be a big challenge to hit it out to center field. The flags, they're blowing in, but the ones above the stadium even higher, they're just whipping in the wind straight off the river.
There's some weather coming in. Tomorrow is going to be dicey. Temperature's going to drop. A lot of rain in the forecast for tomorrow. The start time is scheduled for 4 local, so it's 2 o'clock back home. 0-2.
Maybe there'll be a small window tomorrow, because there's always a window in baseball. Or, oh, we can get the game in.
Hope you're right. 2-2. Blackmon has hit 14 of his last 15. Hit an 11-game hitting streak first part of May. He's hitting .350 over the last 15. And I actually didn't include, he's still in the batter's box. I didn't include his base hit earlier, so it's 15 out of 16. It's a great ballpark.
It
Beautiful
is.
park. And it's good to see it busy again with the accomplishments of this club the last 3 years. That's a shallow center field. McCutchen coming, and nobody's going to get there. It'll be a single for Charlie with 2 outs. He took a wide turn, thought about stretching it, and then shut it down. So Blackmon aboard with 2 outs for Story.
He threw it out into no man's land. Jordy Mercer and the shift can't get there. McCutchen can't get there. Neither can the left fielder Starling Marte. Even with the outfielders playing more shallow, as you mentioned back in the first inning, Drew, that there's still plenty of area in between the infield and the outfield for balls to drop in.
You know, similar to Coors Field, get to this point in a moment. Here's Trevor riding a 7-game hitting streak. Sneak it in now. Similar to Coors Field, left field is as large a space of real estate to cover as anywhere in baseball, maybe save Coors Field here at PNC Park. A lot of room out there for Starling Marte, and he's a Gold Glover. He's one of the very best.
Well, they have speed in all 3 positions.
It's a great outfield. Walt was asked about the 2 outfields before the ball game this afternoon. He said, listen, he said they're both tremendous outfields offensively and defensively. His, of course, and talking about Clint Hurdle's. There goes Charlie, and the throw by Cervelli is going to get him. It skipped up and it was grabbed by Harrison. He applied the tag on Blackmon, and that'll end the inning. Rockies may want to take a look at this. And now they say it was good.
Second time this year that Charlie's been caught stealing. Little bounce throw to second, snap tag, right on the knee.
Charlie Blackmon cut down on a very good throw by Francisco Cervelli. Got rid of it quickly. To end the inning, Garrett Cole leading things off in the third. 9-1-2 for the Pirates. Eddie Butler gave up a run in the first, and this is on the ground, hard to third, and Nolan knocked it down, couldn't come up with it, and it'll be an infield hit for Cole. And you know Nolan's going to be upset that he wasn't able to complete that play.
Just so used to him coming up with some magical play. Ball down the line. Trying to see, did it get into his glove and then bounce out when he hit the ground?
And a base hit by Jaso. And now they're 2 on. Jaso's 2 for 2. And now you're into the real thick part of that lineup. McCutchen to be followed by Polanco and Marte.
Well, with the shift, they pitched away to Jaso, so that just played into the Pirates' hand, and now you're facing a whole lot of trouble with Andrew McCutchen.
McCutchen starting to warm up, the double off the auxiliary scoreboard. His first time. One and 0. So we were talking about the Pirates leading the National League in hitting at 281 ahead of the Rockies. The only team hitting higher than them in baseball is the next stop for the Rockies, the Red Sox. With Jackie Bradley Jr., who just got another hit, so it's 25 games in a row for Jackie Bradley Jr. Big Poppy thinks he's 25. He's getting asked every day, hey,
Bogarts?
you going to back off that thought of retiring at the end of the year?
Maybe if they throw another 20, 25 million at him, he might. Xander Bogaerts.
It's a good team.
Mookie Betts.
Mookie Betts, tremendous leadoff hitter. 2-0, McCutchen hits this on the barrel, but he got underneath it. Blackman makes the catch. Moving from second to third is Cole. 1 out.
I think that strong wind held that ball up. Charlie got back and made the laser throw to second base to keep the double play in order.
Tough man to double up. Coming up in Gregory Polanco. You know, I were chatting with Clint Hurdle about Polanco last year. We watched him take batting practice. He's a big, strong kid. And he's one of those guys that truly brings 5 tools to the ballpark every day.
And he's only 24 years of age. They locked him up with the big contract right before the season started, another 5 years. But each time you watch him do something else to just grow into being able to hit now third in their lineup, because that used to be Andrew McCutchen's spot. Kutch was third. You could write it in even before he came into a series.
Yep. Oh and 1 on Polanco. Down the left field line. Parra is going to have a play, and because he got his feet around there, it's just a little subtle thing, Huey, but he positioned himself. I don't think Cole as a pitcher is going to probably go, but just in case, he got himself in a good throwing position.
You never know if he might go, so you have to assume that he is, but Gerardo works around it, so he catches the ball on his throwing side of his body so he can make the quick transfer, get it back in. The other thing it does too is it keeps John Jaso at first base, because if he doesn't throw and hit the cutoff guy, then he trots to second. Subaru Sucremo works it in, transfer, sees what's happening, get the ball back to the infield. 2 outs.
And he goes right after Starling Marte. First pitch strike. Oh, and 2 on Marte. Another guy the Pirates locked up into the future. More fastballs when he's ahead in the count tonight so far than the slider. The slider's a pitch he'll feature about 28% of the time.
And more four-seam fastballs when he's been ahead.
That was a four-seamer right there.
It could be too. He doesn't have the feel for his slider. It just doesn't feel right coming out of the hand.
How early could you identify the two-seamer that with that one, you know, the seam, singular seam?
Well, it depends on how good you're going.
Yeah.
If you're going good, then you recognize it right away. If not, it was in the catcher's glove or you were fouling it off.
Settles on a curveball, we think. Here's the 1-2. There it is, and it's chopped foul.
Fans ask about the Memorial Day weekend Super Suite special. It's available May 27th through May 30th in Super Suites 1 through 6. Call 303 Rockies for more information.
Cole's at third. Jaso at first with 2 outs. Shattered blooper that's going to be gloved by LeMahieu. Great pitching by Eddie Butler. First and second, nobody out. Pirates kept off the scoreboard. It remains 1-0 as we go to the 4th at PNC. Well, I'd like to be one of those kids. Get to have a catch with a big leaguer. Pretty cool.
That's
Trevor
some quick
Story.
math too.
I don't know. Well,
I
get
mean,
the calculator out.
but that's what I'm saying. They'll figure it out and then still tweet it out.
Well done. Trevor Story riding a 7-game hitting streak will be first, then Nolan and Cargo. Here's our Mako big hit from yesterday. Home run number 12 on the season for Story. Game in the 7th inning. Rockies have 4 hits against Cole. They've lined into 2 double plays. In the first inning, with runners at first and third and 1 out, Cargo lined to the third baseman Freeze, who caught it and was easily able to double off Nolan at first. Swung on and missed. 0-2. And then in the second inning, DJ lined to first with Reynolds at first base and 1 out. Jaso caught it and just stepped on the bat. Battle mode time for Story. We've seen him do this quite a bit. 96 miles an hour fouled off. I had this discussion with Walt today. We were talking about the strikeouts, and he has struck out 58 times. I mean, he struck out more than anybody in baseball. And I'm saying this not as an excuse. He's a developing player. He's done a lot of damage, but it doesn't seem like this is in the air to shallow center, and McCutcheon will outrun the baseball. Huey, it doesn't seem like, if I just threw that number up there, the number of strikeouts, a guy that is just, you know, has those quick at bats where sometimes it's 1, 2, 3, and he's made a left turn, he's back in the dugout.
No. And I wrote down a couple numbers to that point. 344 on base percentage, still slugging .622, even with the strikeouts that you talked about. And most of those strikeouts, I will say, have been on a breaking pitch, probably more a slider type of pitch. But it doesn't matter how hard you throw that fastball, he's going to get to it somehow, some way. And we
were discussing that also, which, as you know, you played forever in the big leagues. That's a huge sign, because if you can't catch up at this level, doesn't matter how you do against off-speed deliveries, because you're just going to see number 1 all day long. But you can't throw number 1 to Trevor, a steady diet of it, because he'll hit it off the wall or beyond the wall.
Right, and then the more experience he has will allow him then to recognize a slider sooner and lay off those more as he grows and develops more as a major league hitter.
Again, I know it sounds strange to say a guy who struck out 58 times. It doesn't feel that way. But Walt agreed 1,000%. I mean, how many at bats have we seen him? He'll maybe eventually does strike out, but he fouls off 4 or 5. There's a line shot, base hit. What a piece of hitting there. Speaking of going down and getting a breaking ball.
Right, and you're going to have to do that. You have to make the adjustments. This game every day is evolving and adjusting. And for Nolan, he went down and get that slider, that off-speed pitch, and got the barrel to it and hit it to left field. And for Trevor, he'll figure that out too. Subaru Supermo, but just to you have to tip your upper half over to reach that. If you try to stay upright and just take the barrel, that's going to be a rollover ground ball. But do you see the body positioning of Nolan, how he went down to get that?
Here's Cargo with 1 out.
And just one final thought, but you know, with hitting and Trevor sees 4.28 pitches per plate appearance. That's 10th in the National League.
And a lot of times, guys who strike out a lot, it goes really quickly.
Oh heck yeah, because you don't want to embarrass yourself. And you'll see guys in slumps do that too. They want to get that at bat over. We talk about seeing pitches, and maybe one pitch, one at bat will get you going again. If you're in a slump, you get in that batter's box, you go, oh man, I got to hit this first pitch. And so it's 1 or 2 pitches and you're done.
Ball and a strike on Cargo. 2-1. Arenado at first. Rockies trailing 1-0 in Pittsburgh. Good eye. Cargo 0 for 4 lifetime matching up with Cole. There's Cole. A little bit extra mustard on it. Middle of the lineup. 3-1 pitch. Reach back, got 97. Reynolds will be next.
If you're Cargo, just look for that again, because you have to. And there it was. Still trying to stay away from Carlos on the Subaru strike zone.
When he's going well, that plays into his hands, though, a lot of times.
Right, because he'll take it out to left or left center.
Yep.
Playing straight up in the outfield are the Pirates. Shift on the infield.
3-2. Way inside, and a good at bat for Gonzalez. So Cargo to first. Nolan will trot to second. And with one out, Mark Reynolds will take his turn. He had a sharp single to right field in the second. First walk allowed by Cole. Rockies had 6 base runners.
And this is the situation that Mark's thrived on this year with runners on, hitting .415.
Reynolds, who played so many years in Arizona, for whatever reason, he's moved on since then, we know, but he has more home runs against the Pirates than anybody else. He has 17 career big flies against the Pirates. That's foul.
You would have thought it would have been against the National League West team.
That's what I would have figured. Cole's one of the few recent high picks for the Pirates, because they went through that miserable 20-year period. He's one of the few that has turned out really good.
First pick overall in 2011. And they've tried it a few different times with pitchers. It hasn't panned out.
Now Reynolds in a ditch, 0-2. One and two on Mark. Reynolds does own a home run against Cole. He had a 9-game hitting streak snapped last Sunday. Really put together nice first 7 weeks in a Rockies uniform on both sides of the ball, Jeff.
Defensively, much better than what you would think from him. He's made plays, but also right now hitting .319.
And that's going to be a base hit to the right side. Big arm in right field, Polanco, and he's going to hold Arenado. He got to that very quickly. The bases are loaded now for Gerardo Parra. Wise decision by Stu Cole.
And Stu got way down the line to make sure he could see all of this play in front of him. Again now for Mark Reynolds, taking a ball to right field, and Nolan sees it down, running hard, And this is what you do as a base runner. You see him pick up Stu Cole twice. Before he got to the bag and then after, because Stu had to wait so long to get that, to see where they were. Starling Marte, strong, above average across the board. Andrew McCutchen, average to a slightly above for arm strength. Accuracy is just as good as the right fielder, Gregory Polanco. So left field and right field, those guys, you want to make sure that you have plenty of legs underneath you.
Parra reached out over the plate. Let's try to serve it to left field. Big at bat here. The Rockies have had opportunities against Cole. You got to cash some in. Down 1-0. At bat for Reynolds. Reynolds, one of those guys you think of, behind in the count, doesn't usually go his way. We know the history. He's had so many hits the other way. Almost redefining himself. This is a bouncer to first. They're going to come home with it for one. That's a smart play by John Jaso. His momentum was coming that direction. And even though he's playing behind the bag, that was an instinctual play and a smart play.
And for Jaso, he hasn't always been a first baseman. He's been a catcher. He's played some other positions, but as he starts to come and get this ball, he recognizes that the only play that he has is to go towards home to get that lead runner. Not worrying about a double play. He just says, my momentum's going there, I'm going to get that guy.
See if LeMahieu can come through at 2 outs. Lined a ball at Jaso his first time up, turned into a double play. That's outside. LeMahieu 0 for 7 lifetime against Cole, so he's due.
Hit the ball hard his last time up.
Way at a pitch he liked.
That's what you hope for DJ now that you get one more pitch that you like.
You remember the 2-0 game on Wednesday in St. Louis. The Rockies were 0 for 10 with runners in scoring position. They didn't lack for opportunity. This kind of has that feel tonight. They want to change the script a little bit. That was a pitch that I know Cole wanted, and you can understand why. It was in the strike zone, the Subaru strike zone. Cervelli didn't make a big scene about it.
No, but he caught it awkwardly. It didn't appear to be that way. Just the way it was received.
Two balls and a strike on DJ with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the 4th. Now it's 3-1. Cole doesn't walk a lot of guys, just 12 walks coming in more than 41 innings. Three and 2.
Well, you have the advantage of the runners taking off. Might allow you to steal an extra run if it is into the gap or to one of those outfielders with the strong arm.
Three-2. Down the line, foul. A couple of folks in the stands missed a breath there. Thought that was going to the corner.
Gregory Polanco in right field, probably only 6 or 7 strides away from the line, if that much.
Yeah, as long as his strides are, he's about 6'5".
Might be more like 3 or 4.
Yeah. Cargo walked. He's now at third. Mark Reynolds singled. He's at second. And Parra on the fielder's choice at first. 3-2 on LeMahieu. And DJ with a bouncer toward Harrison. He's got to retreat, but he'll make the play. And again, Garrett Cole works out of a jam. The Rockies leave them loaded. They trail 1-0, middle of 4th. Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Subaru. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. And by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Look at the Allegheny River. Always busy once the weather warms up with boaters, especially on the weekend. Folks will put their boats in, dock them along the side of the Allegheny, and just walk to the ballpark. First pitch of the inning, misses ball 1 on Francisco Cervelli, the Pirates catcher. Butler hits the zone there. Cervelli hit a fly ball to Cargo to end the first inning. That's when the Pirates scored. They got a single by Jaso, a double by McCutchen, an RBI ground out from Polanco. That's the only run. That's a little bit too tall, and it's 3-1 on Cervelli. Center field, Charlie retreats a couple steps and now come in, 1 out. Let's go to our Denver studios. Here's Jenny. Well, he's given so much to us over 67 years. The best he'll ever be, Vin Scully. Look forward to seeing Vin in a couple of weeks when we go to Los Angeles. 2 outs. David Freese grounds to Trevor Story.
Just so used to seeing him when we go to Dodger Stadium. How gracious he is with his time.
He's the best. We get asked that question a lot. What's he like? And the easiest response, and though it may seem manufactured, it is not, is that he's a finer gentleman than he is a broadcaster, which is hard to be because he's without parallel in the booth. Still works by himself. Isn't that something?
It is. But every time we go by his booth, Drew, Jeff, come on in.
Gorgeous voice of his. Cargo's going to call off DJ, and that's a quick inning in the 4th for Eddie Butler. Just a handful of pitches. We'll go to the 5th. The pitching matchup, 1-0 Pirates. For the 5th inning, it'll be 8-9-1 for the Rockies. The Rockies have made a roster move, a couple of them today we need to inform you about. Miguel Castro was recalled from Albuquerque, as was Jordan Lyles. Christian Bergman, if you missed it last night, he tweaked his oblique on the left side. He was placed on the disabled list. And Scott Oberg, who threw 50 pitches yesterday, he was optioned out. So Castro is back. Jordan Lyles will work in a long haul capacity in the bullpen, kind of replacing the role that Bergman had. Here's Garneau, and he fouls off the curveball. Miguel Castro, they're still going to bring him along slowly. They're trying to build up his arm strength again. He was down for a while with almost like a dead shoulder.
Right. So no sense. I mean, you have him back and you can use him, but he's not going to go back into an 8th inning role. I think that's still Carlos Estevez's place now. But once Miguel is able to do that, come back and put, how about that back into the bullpen? Well, here's some 97s to 99s, 100s for you.
And the good teams have that. I mean, look no further than what the Kansas City Royals accomplished the last couple of years on the strength of the back of their bullpen. 2-strike count on Garneau. Timeout was called. Cervelli was still flashing signs.
He's gotten a rhythm.
Polanco and Wright will grab it. Let's go downstairs, check in with Mark Stout.
Yeah, Drew, you're just mentioning that Jordan Lyles is in the bullpen, and he'll take over the middle relief kind of situation, long relief. I asked him about that today in the clubhouse because it's sort of unfamiliar territory for him.
I've come out of the bullpen a handful of times in the major leagues, but that was 3 or 4 years ago, the last time I did. So it'll be different, but it's not about me. It's about the Rockies, and I'm here to do my job.
And, you know, maybe a change of scenery could help him because the way he pitches a starter, everybody knows, wasn't going the way he wanted. And he worked on things mentally as well when he was down with the isotopes of AAA. He told me that. So Jordan Lyles out here in the pen. He's right in front of me hanging out. Eddie Butler did that earlier this year against the Pirates. Remember, he said, I didn't know what to do as a starter. So they just kind of mosey around.
Yeah, and here's the thing with Jordan. The Rockies still look at him as a starter. But Walt also added that at the major league level, and Jeff, you know this because you came up as a shortstop. That's foul. And you ended up playing a lot of shortstop, but you played some second, third, first, and you ran out in the outfield. Things change rapidly at this level. And who knows? I mean, Jordan, as hard as he throws, if you go and ask him, hey, you're going to work an inning or two. He, instead of 94, 95, it may be 96, 97, and he may find a place there.
Right, and it might be his role for the rest of his career. I think back to the other day, and it happened in the reverse order, but Adam Wainwright, you know, he started in the bullpen, and that's what he did for the Cardinals, and then he ends up being one of their best starters for a number of years.
And the Cards did it with Carlos Martinez.
Right, who's pitching tonight.
Jaso's got it, 2 outs. And if I remember right, initially with Trevor Rosenthal, they weren't sure if, well, he may morph back into a starter. He's a guy naturally they left down there in that role. Martinez became a starter.
That's what I'm saying. As long as you're pitching here at the major league level and they ask you to pitch in a role or play a specific role, that's what you have to do. And then it might work out best for you. You think you might be fit in one area, but another area might be your calling card.
Charlie's 2 for 2. He takes strike 1. Well, I know you understand this better than virtually anybody else. Playing, say, shortstop at AAA versus a utility role in the big leagues.
Sign me up for that utility role.
Take that big league uniform.
At times, and I'm not speaking for Jordan, I'm speaking for myself, ego got in the way because I thought I deserved, or I thought I was this type of player, and it wasn't. That wasn't the case, but it took me a little bit to figure that out. Because everybody that puts on a big league uniform thinks that they're a superstar and an everyday player.
But here's the deal. Every one of you guys were a superstar at some point to get to any kind of level of professional baseball.
But
you were the guy.
But that's why it's hard to change. So.
Sure. Boy, Charlie squares this one up. He hit it too well. And McCutcheon makes the catch. 1-2-3 inning for Cole. In the 5th, it is 1-0 Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, stop number 2 for the Rockies on a 9-game Eastern swing. It's 1-0 Pirates. Find the latest Albuquerque Isotopes jerseys, t-shirts, novelties, and much more at abqisotopes.com. Albuquerque Isotopes, proud AAA affiliate of the Colorado Rockies. See where the Isotopes, the Rockies organization, did this, but Harrison Musgrave moved from AA in Hartford to Albuquerque. Another one of those terrific arms for the Rockies in the Eastern League, and in Hartford doing well, and he got moved up to the rotation with the Isotopes. Jordy Mercer at the plate. Ball and a strike on the Pittsburgh shortstop. He lined to short his first time.
Brandon Barnes yesterday for Albuquerque, 2 for 4 with the 2-run home run.
Marzi just under 300 down in Albuquerque. Ben Paulson swinging it pretty well. This ball lined toward the gap in right center field, and it's going to go to the wall. It's going to be a leadoff, at least double. Now Mercer trying to turn it into 3, throw to third, not going to get it, but hit him. That relay, so a leadoff triple for Jordy Mercer. Mercer, that's his first triple of the year.
He splits the gap. Belt high with the fastball. And Charlie gets after it, picks it up, but just a slight high throw to DJ, the first cutoff guy, so he had to jump up to catch it, and by the time he came back down, that's allowed Mercer to reach third.
Infield in for Cole, swung on and missed. Really like Eddie to see if he could miss some bats here. He's more of a contact guy. Diving stop Story. Now can he get an out? You bet. What a play by Story.
It's just twice tonight that the infielders on the left side have had to dive on a ball that Garrett Cole hit. One was to Nolan at third. This time Trevor knocks it down. It doesn't stick in his glove. It falls down right behind him, and he picks it up. That's the smarts to grab it and still look at the runner at third. Hits off the heel of the glove on the Subaru Supermo. Boy, how about that field awareness?
And Jaso hits it right at LeMahieu with the infield in. 2 outs. And now Eddie much closer to getting out of this situation unscathed. But he's got to deal with McCutchen.
It's been the odd innings for Eddie tonight. In the first inning, he had traffic, only gave up the 1 run. In the third inning, had first and second, nobody out, doesn't give up a run that inning. Here in the fifth, leadoff triple, you're 1 out away from not giving up another run.
Double for McCutchen off the scoreboard at right, and a deep fly ball to center. And this is going to be handled by Butler. He said, I'm going to grab it. What a job by Eddie Butler. How often does that happen?
Pitching.
Yeah, leadoff triple. And Mercer never moved. It remains 1-0 Pittsburgh. Vin has called, I believe, 20 no-hitters, which is just incredible to think about that. And there is a marvelous piece in this past week's Sports Illustrated, written by Tom Verducci, on Vin Scully. And Scully, as he should be, is on the cover of that issue. And if you haven't picked it up, do. It is well worth it. Rockies have Story here in the 6th inning, still trailing 1-0. And this ball leaking toward right field in the line, and it is foul. Trevor will come back. He's twice hit it in the air to McCutchen in center. 7-game hitting streak. How about this? In less than 40 games, because tonight is the Rockies' 41st game, but Trevor didn't play against the Pirates the last time Cole was on the hill. So in 39 games coming into the ball game, Trevor has 27 extra base hits. The only guy to produce more extra base hits in their first 39 games, the Yankee Clipper, Joe DiMaggio.
Joltin' Joe.
How about that? And he's the first shortstop ever, not first rookie shortstop, first shortstop ever to hit 12 home runs in his team's first 40 games. 2-1. DiMaggio, when you break down those hits for Joe, 18 doubles, 6 triples, 5 home runs. For Story, 11 doubles, 4 triples, the 12 bombs. So I'm not taking anything away from DiMaggio, no, but a more impactful, a more robust number of extra base hits. Harrison will have this, and Story's retired. 1 out in the 6th.
Well, you don't want to miss the action when the New York Yankees make a rare appearance at Coors Field on June 14th and 15th. Get your tickets today.
So with 1 out, nobody on, Nolan comes up. He's 2 for 2.
Think back to Trevor for a moment, just to be on the list with Joe DiMaggio. I mean, how many times when we'd be sitting up here and we'd see a list that Todd Helton was on, and all the names that he was with, and you think, man, these are the greatest names in baseball history that you're on this list with.
Yep, it's special. This ball crushed deep left field, way back, home run, number 14, and we've got a tie game. Nolan's putting his name on a list with some special guys also.
Second time this year that Nolan's jumped on a Garrett Cole pitch and hit it over the wall. And his 3rd hit of the evening.
Well, all the traffic tonight, the Rockies can't push one across. Nolan says, "The heck with it, I'll do it myself."
And that might not even have been a strike. It was inside. Looked like it was off the plate, but the quick hands of Nolan takes it over the wall in left field.
And Cargo out front pops it up on the left side. Mercer, 2 outs.
Well, this is worth a 2nd, 3rd, even a 4th look on this home run on the Subaru Supermo. They tried to go inside. Nolan makes them pay. I mean, the hands start to swing, but then once your hands get to a certain point, your hips also help with that swing. And he got the hips cleared and got the hands to the ball and the barrel. That was a gorgeous, gorgeous swing.
Mark Reynolds is 2 for 2. And not just the fact that he gets his hands there, you have to get the barrel there too. You see some guys get their hands out, but the barrel's not out, and you get beat.
But he's still, even when he gets those hands there, the hands are still up in that palm up, palm down position. Because sometimes guys will get their hands there, but to get them there, then they have to rotate their top hand, and you'll get a top hand rollover. But he doesn't. He's able to pull him through with like the knob coming through first, and then the barrel following it.
He is so fast, isn't he?
Oh, so much fun to watch.
How about this, Huey? He's hit 14 home runs now. 9 of those home runs have been in a situation where the Rockies were in a 1-run game or tied.
Those are the money type players. I mean, some guys hit home runs and they'll drive in the runs, but it's a, maybe a 5-0 game, or it's 8-2. Yeah, they're important, but they're not impactful home runs or RBIs.
Two and 2 on Reynolds. Rockies in a 1-1 ball game. Again, trying to snap a 7-game losing streak against the Pirates. 12 and 10 so far this year out on the road. That's a pitch. You want to talk about a difference in Mark Reynolds? You know where I'm going with this. That's a pitch he swings at.
You stole my thought, because I was thinking the same thing. This was a pitch he would have waved at and been done. And even his last at bat, he had a slider that he laid off of and then hit a base hit.
He's 3 for 3. He's swinging the bat like a high contact guy right now.
And even down in the zone away from him on the Subaru strike zone. Career hit number 997 for Mark. Garrett Cole's reaction is like,
but in the vernacular of major league players, he spit on a really good breaking ball, and then he got a pitch he could handle, because now Cole's got to come in. It's 3-2.
And the other thing, he didn't miss it once he did that. He didn't miss that fastball.
Here's Parra. And Parra hits this sharply, but it's at McCutcheon. Rockies are taking good passes tonight against Garrett Cole. It's 1-1 because 28 just hit his 14th. 1-1, middle of 6 at PNC. Arenado sends one on a majestic flight. So Nolan hits one out, and we're in a 1-1 battle. The Rockies and Pirates, as we go to the bottom of the 6th, the Rockies have out-hit Pittsburgh 8-5. 3, 4, and 5. Polanco, Marte, Cervelli against Eddie Butler. And Eddie misses outside, ball 1. Eddie has allowed the 1 run on 5 hits. He hasn't struck anybody out. He hasn't walked anybody. And he induces a high pop-up right side, foul ground. Reynolds makes the catch. The Coors Light Cold Hard Facts are brought to you by Clean, Crisp Coors Light. We know you were wondering about this. So here you go. The origin of the name Pirates. 1890, the Players League was established as an alternative to the National League. National League teams maintained the rights to players who jumped leagues with the proper paperwork. The Philadelphia A's did not file paperwork on Lou Bierbauer, who was promptly signed by the Pittsburgh Alleghenies when the Players League collapsed. The A's and other teams began calling Pittsburgh the Pirates.
Come on, give the arg at the end.
Arg. How'd I do?
That was wonderful.
Is that a good
Yeah, that was a good one.
Polanco got Marte at the plate, 0-1 on Starling. And there, well, there's Bierbauer on the left.
Looking pretty good for his...
He's aged gracefully.
Just 63 pitches for Eddie, 44 for strikes. Oh no, that went off the bag.
So a one-out base hit for Marte.
Now that I say that, that might have helped out slowing it down. And at first I was thinking, well, why did it, if it just kicked off or went on the outside, it wasn't going to be a fair ball, but then went off the back, slowed it down enough to allow Cargo to get it and keep Starling Marte at first base.
So here's Cervelli, double play candidate. Hit the ball in the air twice, once to right, once to center.
Don't go to sleep on Marte. He's 12 for 15 in stolen bases.
Whoa. And he can end up at second as that's off the glove of Reynolds. And that'll be an error on Butler. That's where speed has an effect.
It did. Eddie tried to be too fast, make too fine a throw to first. Mark has to dive out and around Marte just to get some leather on it and knock it down. First error of the season for Eddie, 17th as a club, and the Rockies had come in with a .989 fielding percentage. That was second best in the National League.
He's worked out a couple of traffic situations in this game. Cervelli slices one into the stands, foul. So earlier this week, Francisco signed a 3-year, $31 million deal. Go back a few seasons. You think he could have imagined that?
No. Well, he had a tough time just even being an everyday catcher. But he's found a home here.
.01, now 0-2 on Cervelli. Cervelli first hit the big leagues back in 2008 with the Yankees. And he was a backup until he got to Pittsburgh last year.
It's a long time backing up and then finding that slot. Also getting $31 million.
Cervelli last year hit .295, 7 home runs, 43 driven in, 451 at bats, which is about 40% of his major league at bats all in one season. And again, he had been up and down his first 4 years in the big leagues, which began back in 2008.
Oh, Russell Martin Also kind of did the same thing where he parlayed what he did here into the contract with Toronto.
Oh, they got him. Story applied the tag, but somehow Marte got back. That inside move had fooled Marte. He was taken off.
He did not get all the way turned around. He was still in an athletic position so he could bounce off the right leg to get back to the bag. Wow, that was real close.
And the Rockies are taking a look at it inside. You know what? They're going to take a look at this. Walt's going to ask New York to view it. This would be large, to say the least. Jeff Nelson's the crew chief. It was also his call.
So they'll bring in Doug Eddings from first base to also listen in on the call. It's hard to tell. You get blocked by the umpire. And Eddie had to lead Trevor into that throw. That wasn't a design pickoff play. As much as Trevor was running to the bag, it was more Eddie just doing it on his own, realizing what the runner was doing, and then decided to throw to second base.
Since he's called safe, it's going to be tough, you would think, to overturn that based on what we have seen. Now, they don't magically have different angles than what either we can provide or the home television broadcast can provide. They have access to both of those. We're giving you the best view of it. They've indicated that he is safe. So with one out, Marte's still at second. 2-strike count on Cervelli.
Now for Eddie, don't lose focus because of that play. You still have Cervelli 0-2.
Get him to chase up. It's 1-2. Located that breaking ball well.
The breakdown tonight for Eddie is going to be more 3-1 fastball to any sort of off-speed pitch.
One, two, got him. What a time for the initial strikeout of the ball game for Eddie Butler.
And what was it? It was a fastball. Foul tip, soft hands. 94 miles an hour, soft hands by Dustin Garneau.
But that, as you described, Jeff, that was a super sinker, man.
At 94. So
wow.
Cervelli looks back trying to figure out, oh man, how did I miss that? Oh, it had downward action.
So here's David Freese, a couple ground outs. That's a big part of the maturation process. He's got another out to go in a 1-1 ball game. But that was his best fastball of the night. his best two-seamer without question.
And we've seen him do that tonight because he's been in some sticky situations and pitched out of jams. But he obviously has confidence tonight in his fastball and how it feels.
Marte singled with 1 out. Then Aaron threw on a pickoff attempt by Butler allowed him to move to second. 2 gone in a 1-1 game. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed on another high fastball at 95. He's got Freeze to chase up. What do you like here?
Oh, might as well chase it up again. That more than likely wasn't the spot that he wanted because Dustin set up real low. He did try to go back upstairs. But I think you have him set up for a slider after so many fastballs. And all 4 of these pitches have been in the top quadrant of the strike zone away from David Freeze. Change the eye level, go down, knees and below.
That's where the target is, and that is a base hit on a broken bat, and it will score the run. Pirates take a 2-1 lead. That ball got a little too much of the plate, worked back over the middle portion of the plate. So David Freeze, who was overmatched on a couple of fastballs, fights one off to give the Pirates a 6th inning 2-1 lead.
Dustin was set up away. You just see how low he wanted that. And then it was fastball up inside to David Freeze. And Pittsburgh now 1 for 11 with runners in scoring position. And that air allowing Marte just to reach second. Just played into this inning. While we have a moment, I'll tell you that the first 10,000 fans through the gates for the Rockies-Reds game on May 31st will receive a coupon for a Hebrew National Dollar hot dog.
Harrison has hit it in the air twice to Cargo. And this is popped up in front of the plate. Reynolds will make the catch, but the Pirates on that 2-out broken bat single by Freeze have a 2-1 lead as we go to the 7th, bottom third of the order for the Rockies. While that Nolan went deep in the 6th inning, Pirates just scratched out a run on the 2-out broken bat single by Freak. So it's 2-1. Eddie Butler has pitched well. Garrett Cole has pitched well. That run last inning, by the way, was unearned because of the error by Butler. So LeMahieu will lead it off against Cole in the 7th. With Jeff Hewson and Mark Stout, I'm Drew Goodman. First at 3 at PNC Park. The Rockies will have an off day Monday in Boston. They'll play 3 night games against the Red Sox at Fenway Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. DJ's lined out and grounded out. 1-1. Gonzalez Germain for the Rockies, with Butler due up 3rd in the inning. But the only possibility of Eddie continuing on, well, there's a couple. One would be if the first 2 guys get on and Walt asks him to bunt. He's done a good job at that. Or if there's 2 outs and nobody on, that is lined again in the direction of Jay. So second time DJ's lined out there. Because Eddie's thrown only 76 pitches. So with 2 outs and nobody on, and the shorter bench, Walt may elect to say,
stay with him. Yeah, it's unfortunate here for DJ and the ball club, because this was easily 2 bases. If it gets and rattles around in the corner, maybe 3. But worst case, it'd be 2. And Jaso tonight, 2 line drives off the bat of DJ.
Garneau at the plate. Adames is in the on-deck circle.
You gotta imagine also that Descalso has a bat, depending on what happens with Dustin.
There's a base hit, so Adames definitely will hit. 9 hits for the Rockies against Garrett Cole.
Yeah, they're gonna go to Ryan Rayburn.
Well, that's the big card for Walt off their bench. And it's all, when do you play that card? Walt saying, all right, it's starting to get late, 7th inning. So Rayburn has done such a terrific job in this capacity, not to mention what he's done when he's starting.
Well, and for Pittsburgh, too, they only have 1 left-hander in the bullpen. That's Tony Watson. And Watson would be in the 8th inning, and then if they have the lead, they're going to Melanson in the 9th. So this is why you play your 1 power card right now. Pinch hitting, 357, 2 home runs, 4 RBIs for Ryan. And we saw that one of those home runs to right center field against the Mets, and to help that sweep the other day.
Outside ball 1 on Ryan. (2-0) on Rayburn. Blackman on deck. Rockies have had a base runner in every inning save the 5th. Rayburn on the ground. It's corralled by Freeze. He has only 1 play, and that's to first. But Garneau is in scoring position for Blackman.
And does Clint go to his bullpen and bring in Neftali Felice with 103 pitches for Garrett Cole, or does he say, you're my guy, and leave him out there?
No, that's his horse. Though, here's another factor. Blackman is 2 for 3. The one time Cole got him out, it was a screeching liner to fairly deep center field.
Clint staying with the...
Not moving.
Nope. Staying with the 25-year-old.
Inside on Charlie.
There's nothing wrong with the velocity. Still pumping it in there at 96, 97 miles an hour.
I go back to what John Smoltz, I heard him say recently. He said, if I'm throwing fastballs, he said, in my prime, I could throw 200 fastballs.
Yeah, right.
He's not a big proponent of the pitch count.
That might be an understatement.
Yes. You know, when Clint grew up in the game and Walt grew up in the game, there really was no such animal.
No.
When you grew up in the game, there really wasn't.
Wasn't until later on that you started hearing about it.
2-1. So important here, Huey, for Garneau to get a good secondary lead.
You have to. You have to, because you know the arms. And for Stu, he's just got to keep waving them if you get the good jump, the good secondary lead.
3-1.
You can tell Garrett Cole's focus is at home. He doesn't even hardly look back. That time he didn't look back at all to second base. Trevor on deck.
Three and one on Blackman. Play. Here's the 3-2. And Blackman lines it to left. That's a base hit. Garneau around third. Here's the throw by Marte. It is in time. Out at the plate. The Gold Glove left fielder Starling Marte made an ideal throw.
Gets behind it, one hop to Cervelli at the plate, applies the tag, took a chance, and gambled, he lost. be one with them. And we were. It was at SeaWorld down in San Diego. That was fun.
Love SeaWorld. Jordy Mercer to face Gonzalez Germain here in the bottom of the 7th. And the first pitch misses.
Numbers for Gonzalez, and we were talking a little bit about him today with Walton. He said he's so valuable because it's not just he's got to pitch to right-handers. With his changeups, he can pitch to left-handers too.
There was a changeup. Mercer tripled his last time up to the gap in right center field, but was stranded there. He led off with a triple. That was when Story made a great play on Garrett Cole. John Jaso hit a routine ground ball at DJ with the infield drawn in. And then McCutchen fouled out to Butler. Eddie did a great job tonight. 76 pitches through 6 innings. 2 runs, only 1 earned. 7 hits, no walks, 1 strikeout. And there is a strikeout to start the inning. Mercer's gone. And Matt Joyce is going to pinch him. Let's look at this play again. Stu Cole does the absolute right thing.
2 outs. You're saying, well, you've got to make a perfect throw. Starling Marte did. And Dustin Garneau, head down, hits the inside of the bag at third base. Cervelli makes the tag. Dustin attempts to go out and around, barely gets the shoulder on the tag, and Starling Marte had 16 outfield assists last year. That led the National League. He has 6 this year, which is tied with Matt Kemp for first.
You discussed it earlier. Strong arm, accurate arm. But, again, if you're Stu Cole, you have to force the issue there.
Force it, and everything from an offensive standpoint was played out like we thought it might, and Charlie hit the ball hard, and it was an easy play for Marte because he had the momentum coming home. But in a 1-1 game, or 2-1 game, excuse me, in the 7th inning, you might not have that chance again. Are you going to wait for something else, another base hit? Sometimes you got to roll the dice, and that came up 7. You know, it's just one of those plays.
Joyce pops this up foul, and it's going to get over the Pirates dugout and out of play. 1-2 on Joyce. It's been a very well played ball game for the most part. The error hurts the Rockies. That pickoff attempt by Eddie Butler, but Eddie pitched well. Pitched out of a couple situations early. Garrett Cole has worked himself out of several situations because the Rockies had 10 hits in the game. Swung on and missed. Back-to-back strikeouts by Gonzalez Germain. 2 gone. That'll bring up Jaso, the leadoff man. The day after every Rockies victory, get 50% off your online order at Papa John's. Utilize the promo code ROXWIN at papajohns.com. Jaso, 2 singles and 3 at-bats. Guy has fun going to the yard. You should. Popular guy in that Pittsburgh clubhouse, John Jaso.
And laughing in the batter's box reminds me a couple days ago what Yadier Molina was doing in the batter's box. Just laughing away. And
you know who was like that we saw recently? He's having a huge year for the Cubs again. Or not for the Cubs, for a former Cub, but for Arizona, Wellington Castillo.
Where's that pitch? I guess it was Just a skosh inside on the Subaru strike zone.
Hard hip side two-seamer.
Split the body of Garneau. That's what made me think it was a strike.
Followed up with a changeup. Some guys don't like throwing their changeup right-handed pitchers to left-handed batters. Gonzalez will throw it to both sides.
I think it's one of the best pitches to a left-handed batter, because if you have the same arm action, the hitter's trying to think, I'm going to jump on this fastball, and then it works away from you.
Good pitch, strike 3. He got that call. Great job by Germain. He strikes out the side. So the Rockies quickly will get back on offense. They're down a run as we go to the 8th. Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Really good ball game to open up this 3-game set between the Rockies and Pirates on the shores of the Allegheny River. Pirates leading 2-1. The Rockies will have Story, Arenado, Gonzalez, and hopefully others in the 8th inning against Tony Watson. Check in with Mark Stout downstairs. Mark.
Yeah, guys, I've got a quick Trevor story about his brother Tyler's story. Yesterday, Trevor hit his 12th home run in St. Louis. Aaron Munoz, our bullpen catcher for the Rocks, was out there, and he caught it out in St. Louis in the bullpen. He gave the ball to Trevor Story. Story saw his brother Tyler, who is a grad student at Missouri State in Springfield, Missouri, and he was at the game in St. Louis. He's only been at a couple of games, was able to give his brother a home run ball, his 12th, in person after the game. Saw it outside the locker room, outside the clubhouse. Really neat seeing the two brothers.
Yeah, that is a neat story. How about if he hits one here and he nails him this baseball?
That would work.
Strike 1, Tony Watson, the only left-hander down in the bullpen for Clint Hurdle. Now, he's not a situational guy. No. He's their 8th inning guy.
239 appearances since the beginning of 2013 for Tony Watson. That's second most in the National League, only trailing his teammate Mark Melancon.
That was a changeup. Tony presets the changeup.
It's easier that way for a pitcher and a relief pitcher to preset the changeup, the circle change, and then move it to a fastball grip if you want that.
And he has a very good fastball.
This will give us a good look right here when he goes right behind him. You see the circle, the way the pinky is off the side of the baseball.
Strike, no question. Story got caught on that changeup, and it was right down the middle.
Some pitchers, if they have a fastball grip and then go to a changeup grip, you can see them fan their glove, meaning they make their glove bigger. And so that's what Tony's trying to stay away from when he presets that changeup.
Do you realize Garrett Cole's big strikeout guy? The Rockies in 7 innings, 10 hits, did not strike out against Cole. That's the first strikeout tonight for a Rocky hitter. And the Pirates have struck out just once.
The other low game for Garrett Cole in strikeouts was 3, and that was also against Colorado in that game in April. His last 2 starts prior to this, last 3 actually for Garrett Cole. 7 strikeouts against the Cubs, 7 against the Cardinals, and then 6 against the Cubs.
Nolan 3 for 3, including the home run in his last at bat. 2-0, 3-0. Here's his 14th of the year that tied up the game.
Majestic moonshot.
Pirates ahead now 2-1. Cargo on deck. It's 3-0 on Nolan. Well, this is an irrelevant stat now, but I'll pass it along anyhow. Dougie did the research on it. 11 times the Rockies have had 0 strikeouts in a game. Another strike, 3-2.
Couple hits tonight for Nolan, and we saw the home run. 16 multi-hit games for Nolan.
And now 7 home runs at home, 7 home runs out on the road. He needed a rest anyhow.
I'm just laughing because he falls down, see him out on the field diving. He'll drop to his back knee.
He's not going to go home, and his uniform's going to be clean. Outside, Nolan has walked for the 19th time this year. So the tying run aboard, and Cargo will try to extract himself from a 2 for 30 funk here in the 8th inning. Cargo in the game, lined into a double play. Remember, the Rockies in the first inning had 1st and 3rd, 1 out. Cargo lined to 3rd and turned into a 5-3 double play. And this is Weekly hit back to the mound. Double play. So we'll go to the bottom of the 8th inning, 2-1 Pittsburgh. Walt may challenge. Let's see. You got to see the play at second now. Was he on the bag? I think that's what he did, or was it here?
I think it's at first base. But now it's going to have to be up to the umpires. Take a look at second. First, he's on the bag.
No question.
This is the play that they will review. The umpires have decided to review this one. That looks like his foot hits.
Yeah, that looks like a winnable one.
That does. Watch the heel. Heel, bag.
Yeah, I think he's safe. He is safe. So the Rockies will get Mark Reynolds to the plate, and that's a very good thing. He's 3 for 3.
Nice work by Brian Jones down watching the video, and Walt to come out. The umpires take a peek at that, and it was rightfully overturned.
Sean Rodriguez, we forgot to mention that, is in the game at first base defensively for Pittsburgh. Jaso's out of there. Reynolds 3 singles tonight. Moved his average up. Started the day with a .313 average, and this is on the ground at third. And Freeze throws across. So now the Rockies are done in the 8th. Middle of inning number 8, 2-1 Pittsburgh. Eddie Butler took him only 76 pitches to navigate 6 innings. He gives up only 1 earned run, didn't walk a batter. It's the 21st time in Rockies history a pitcher has got 6 or more, allowed 7 or fewer hits, 1 or fewer earned runs, and no walks. Eddie Butler certainly has given the Rockies an opportunity tonight. They trail as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, 2-1. Despite having out-hit Pittsburgh 10-7, again trying to end a 7-game slide against the Pirates. Miguel Castro, Walt said he was going to try to bring him back slowly, but he's calling upon him here in a 1-run game to get the thick part of the order out. McCutchen, Polanco, Marte in the 8th for the Bucks.
Well, sometimes your best laid plans go out the window when you're in a game 2-1 and you need his strong arm to come out of the bullpen. Make sure it stays here at a 2-1 game.
We're going to see fastball slider, and he had an electric beginning to the season before some shoulder fatigue. Cutchin's 1 for 3 tonight, double back in the first. And he induces a pop-up on a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. And in foul ground, Nolan makes the catch. 1 in the book.
Well, fans, you can elect a Rockies player to celebrate during the Thursday, June 1st game. Buy this special ticket package and get the exclusive player elect personalized t-shirt.
Gregory Polanco drove in the first run with a ground ball to second in the first. He's 0 for 3. Looks like some of that arm strain's back, Huey, huh? That was 97.
Nothing wrong there. It's just fun to see these guys come in and just blow gas. Just a look on his face when he's standing on the mound there.
A 21-year-old with a 1-1, and he induces a pop-up. Story will have it. 2 outs. Here's our CenturyLink link to what's next. Tomorrow, again, it's a late afternoon start, 4 o'clock here, 2 o'clock out in the back of the Mountain Time Zone. Tyler Chatwood, who has been as good as anybody in baseball on the road. In fact, he has the lowest road ERA in the game. He'll be opposed by the left-hander Jonathan Neese. Chatwood will go for his 6th win. And we're on the air at 1:30 in the Mountain Time Zone on Root Sports tomorrow with our pregame show. Here's Starling Marte. You know, Marte's the difference in this game. He scored the go-ahead run in the 6th on a broken bat single by David Freese after a 1-out hit by Marte, and he saved the Pirates by throwing out Dustin Garneau at the plate on the base hit by Charlie Blackmon, which would have tied it an inning ago.
It's just the impact that Marte has. He also leads their club in stolen bases, so.
Down the line, past the diving Arenado. And Marte has a double.
He turns around the 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Castro. Down the line, hits off the grass. It takes one more skip, 2 more skips before it passes by Nolan. 14th double of the season for Marte.
Ties him with Gerardo Parra, 2nd in the league in doubles. Here's Cervelli with 2 outs. Well, that was a wicked
That was
slider.
a bender.
Yeah, that made a left turn, didn't it? Rockies in the 9th inning. They'll face Mark Melancon. It'll be Parra, LeMahieu, and Garneau. 0-2. One more pitch here. Cervelli with a 2-strike count. And he did. Wicked slider. Good outing for Castro. So we'll go to the 9th inning. The Rockies at PNC Park trailing the Pirates 2-1. wellsfargo.com. By Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo customers get your 2-for-1 Rockies club level tickets by visiting wellsfargo.com/Rockies. And by Volkswagen. Pittsburgh leading in the top of the ninth inning, 2-1. The Rockies will try to rally against Mark Melanson, who played his high school baseball at Golden High. 2-1 Pittsburgh as we go to our Denver studios. Here's Jenny. All right, Jenny, sounds good. The Rockies will see Melanson. And Melanson, Huey's a different kind of closer. He's effective. He's 13 out of 14. But he's not necessarily the high velocity, high strikeout guy.
No, for Melanson, 13 strikeouts in 17 innings. So that tells you he's not that 1 to 1.5 strikeouts per inning pitch type of pitcher. Melanson will throw the cut fastball. I mean, that's his primary pitch, and then mix in a curveball and then a four-seamer. But it's a cut fastball like Mariano Rivera, just not as hard. Gerardo Parra in his career, 1 for 8 against Melanson. DJ LeMahieu on deck. He's 0 for 2, and then probably Descalso pinch hitting for Dustin.
So here's Parra in a 1-run game leading off in the ninth. 0-1. Last year, Melanson led the league with 51 saves. The year before, he had 33. He was drafted out of Golden High School in the 50th round. There aren't even 50 rounds anymore. That's back up the middle, but shaded there was Mercer, 1 out.
Folks, MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is now available. Join the millions of subscribers. Watch every out-of-market game live in true HD on over 400 devices.
Should have looked through my bifocals, which I don't have out tonight. Actually, 30th round. They still have 30 rounds. They used to have 50. Used to have 60. They had 60-something years ago.
Yeah, until people just got tired of picking.
Yeah, now it stops at 40 rounds. 1 out. Here's DJ. Descalso. Open for a chance. And that finally eludes a first baseman. This time it's Sean Rodriguez. So speed aboard in LeMahieu. DJ's hit it in that direction 4 times tonight. Twice he lined out to Jaso.
But this time with Sean Rodriguez playing further off the line than Jaso was. Is not able to snag it. And I know DJ's running down the line saying, finally got one by you over at first base. DJ could have 3 hits tonight. Instead, he comes up with 1 big one here in the top of the ninth.
Garneau singled sharply to left his last time up. Descalso on deck. Here's the 0-1. 1-1. Rockies have left 7 on. They've lined into 2 double plays tonight. They've had a man thrown out at the plate. 11 hits, just 1 marker though.
In every inning except for the 5th inning, they've had base runners.
And this is an easy play for Harrison, 2 outs. Who Wants Tacos? Fans follow @RootSports_RM on Twitter to receive alerts when the Rockies score 7 or more runs in a game. Daniel Descalso, who had a big day yesterday getting the start against his old club in his old stomping grounds of St. Louis, produced a couple of hits and a couple of RBIs.
Coming off, making his first start off the DL and the broken wrist. Couple sharp singles to left field.
Outside. Eric Young just came over and whispered something in DJ's ear. Was that a time?
Time. Exactly right. I mean, every base runner has that internal clock, but you want confirmation from your base coach. A high leg kick, just so you know.
2-0. Descalso hoping to pass the baton to Charlie Blackmon, who has swung it very well tonight. Charlie's 3 for 4. He's barreled up 4 tonight. The only out he made was a line drive to fairly deep center field. 2-0 on Descalso. 2-1 Pirates. And a line drive, base hit to left. So the Rockies will get the tying run to second, and the go-ahead run at first. Stay hot, Daniel Descalso. And Charlie will get an opportunity.
He just channeled what he did last night tonight. Takes a cut fastball on the outer third portion of the plate and hits it where you should. He hit it to left field, didn't try to pull it. And all Marte can do is play it on the hop. Well done, Daniel.
Two outs in the 9th. Blackmon at the plate against Melanson. Ball 1. A dozen hits now for the Rockies. Well, you'll take that number, Huey, any night on the road. Their only run, though, was a home run by Nolan back in the 6th.
Now you just need to increase that to 3 for 6 with runners in scoring position.
Ball and a strike.
This is not a slider. Cut fastball. Put the 2 fingers together, grab the seam, and then just throw it like you would a fastball.
His cutter's a little unique, isn't it, in that it doesn't just move laterally, it has some depth to it.
It has two different angles to it.
This ball's in the air, left center field. Polanco coming on, and he makes the catch. Marte coming on and making the catch, and that'll end the ball game. The Rockies put 2 on in the 9th, cannot push it.